I have a rare letter of Martha Washington, too. It's to the overseer of Mount Vernon, Tobias Lear, who was very close to both George and Martha. It's written after the death of the general. He died in December of 1799, and this one was written in 1801. But she's continuing to take care of Mount Vernon and to get the crops growing and so on, and the overseer she needed to keep in close contact with. I mention that because, you know, the letters of the famous women of history, particularly American history, are much rarer than their husbands, and no less significant. In fact, in many cases, equal or more significant. I used to wonder about that a lot. Why are their letters so rare? Well, then it finally dawned on me decades ago that the people that collect this kind of stuff are the women. And I found out that Martha actually went out and destroyed all of her love letters with her husband. So we don't have a single love letter between George and Martha Washington. They didn't want people reading their personal mail. And even though they may have collected more than the others, they didn't care about whether you read their husband's other letters. That's fine. So they preserved those. Martha was a first lady, a first lady in many senses of the word. Our country, when it was founded, one incident I'd like to mention, had no silver. We had no silver mines. We hadn't been out west digging silver. We didn't have it. The Spanish mill dollar, pieces of 8, were used as dollars in this country for a long time. But in looking at nationhood, there was a real desire to coin our own money. The Constitution said that was a federal activity. And so the very first silver coin that was minted, this is an example of it. It's also known as the Martha Washington half dime. They spelled dime the French way, D-I-S-M-E, in 1792. And it was during Washington's term as president that this little coin was minted. In fact, there were 1,500 of them minted. We think there are about 200 of them still in existence. The likeness of Liberty, the First Lady Liberty, is believed to be Martha Washington. And the thing that's significant about it is that George and Martha Washington agreed to have their family silver set melted down, since the nation had no silver, to create these first coins. And so that's why they call it sometimes the Martha Washington half dime or half dime. Before we had a nickel, we had a little silver coin. And they started regularly after this in 1794. It's interesting, on this very first coin, the mottos around it are all abbreviated. And anyway, it says Liberty, which is L-I-B, and it says Father of Industry and Science. And that was before we got to some of the other things we put on. It had a tiny little American eagle on the back. And at any rate, in George Washington's first message to Congress, he said, we've made a little start on the coinage of our country. We've minted some half dimes, or half dimes as the word changed the next year. And he was talking about his and his beloved Martha's silver set that was melted down to make these coins.